So, as I mentioned before, I'm trying to do more segments that pertain to like current events and news and such. I don't know anything about the New York gubernatorial race for the governor, but I decided I am going to do a little bit of research on it and make a segment out of it. So here we go. If you don't know anything about the race too, welcome in. We'll learn together. I have pulled up from SpectrumLocalNews.com. New York Governor Kathy Hochul's favorability and approval rating both dipped, but her lead over Republican gubernatorial candidate Bruce Blakeman grew slightly in the latest Siena University poll of registered voters released on Tuesday. Let's take a look at what this video has to say.
Governor's losing a bit of ground with New York voters, and her opponent, Republican Bruce Blakeman, bends the ear of President Trump on his campaign. Nicole Newman joins us live from the Capitol with more. The latest Siena poll that says the gubernatorial race might be tightening up a bit. Nicole, what can you tell us?
Hi, Casey. Well, what I can tell you is that some are seeing this as a bit of a temperature check, right, when it comes to the state of the governor's race. Now, here are some of those findings. Despite Governor Kathy Hochul's favorability rating dropping and her job approval rating staying the same, the governor is leading her opponent, Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman, 49 to 33%. That's compared to 47 to 34% from last month. So not a big change here, but still showing who New Yorkers would pick if the race was held today.
What was a 13-point lead for Hochul last month is now a 16-point lead. Still needs to get above that magic 50 because, as we know, it takes 50% plus one to win an election.
Meantime, the poll also finds that New Yorkers believe the state.
So Hochul's winning. Hochul's the gubernatorial candidate, and he's the Republican, and he's winning.
Best days are still ahead
right
by
now.
49 to 32%. And a key question here asked to voters is if they think the state is on the right track or headed in the wrong direction. The poll took a look at 7 issues, including cost of living, housing, crime, and health care. This is essentially split along party lines, with Republicans and independents saying no, and Democrats saying they believe the state is on the right track with some of those issues.
Nicole, obviously it's difficult to get any group of voters to agree on anything. Were there any issues that voters agreed upon across the board?
There was, Casey, no real surprise here. It came to housing and cost of living. We're all feeling that pinch at the pump as well as in the grocery stores. And of course, we're in a housing shortage, so no surprise here that across the board, registered voters that were surveyed in this poll agreed on those 2 issues.
All right, political season just getting started and heating up. Nicole Newman reporting.
Okay, that was a good little introduction. Is it Hochul or Hochul? Here, let's look up New York. Wait, Hochul's the... Hold on, now I'm confused. I thought Hochul was the Republican. Let me see something. Hochul has as a policy is that, hey, if you want a certain degree for college, you can do it for free. Really? Governor Hochul highlights new laws to protect New Yorkers and stand against ICE overreach. That's pretty cool. Hochul flubs Knicks championship record when talking Trump. Who cares? Okay, here's what they're talking about with Hochul.
So Kathy Hochul is the failed upward, inherited her position, governor of New York.
Hello, Ben. It's been a while since we revisited Ben, but I feel like he's just kind of been neutered lately, so.
A game where you just get to climb the chain by the person above you getting caught in a sexual harassment scandal. It's pretty wonderful. Anyway, Kathy Hochul was attempting to dunk on President Trump because the New York Knicks have made the finals, and she tried to.
Should I make a Ben Shapiro plushie? He's kind of got perfect hair. Like, I feel like I could make a really good Ben Shapiro plushie, but I probably shouldn't. I shouldn't, but I feel like he's a very plushiable character, especially the eyebrows. I feel like I could give him like real thick caterpillar eyebrows, make him real funny looking, and take that disgusting beard off. He does not look good with a beard. Let me send the link of her policies in chat. Please do. I started to pronounce with a hard K sound.
To smack President Trump over the next
new meta, Hochul.
And blows this dunk. I mean, just truly screws this up. This is a wide open dunk, and she just blows it.
I asked him to name the starting lineup from 1993 championship team and see how he does.
There was no championship New York Knicks team in 1993. They weren't even in the finals in 93.
I didn't know that.
In the finals in 94, and they didn't win. By the way, you know who was at the 1994 finals? This is the best thing about President Trump. President Trump is like the Forrest Gump of politics. He's just everywhere. What? You go back in time.
President Trump is like the Forrest Gump of politics. That does not make any sense in my brain.
And you're watching like newsreels from 1923, and there's President Trump in the background just waving at you. Whether it's a Home Alone movie or whether it is a 1994 finals appearance, the President of the United States has been everywhere at all times. The most ubiquitous man in human history. Here he was back in the 19...
That's it? That's what they have to say about her? Yeah, who gives a Who cares? That's all they're talking about. Announces new law against ICE overreach. Begs New York's richest to return after fleeing Mamdani's high taxes. What? So wait, is Hochul the incumbent? Hochul's the, sorry, I keep saying Hochul. Hochul's the incumbent, right? I never realized how much MAGA loves sucking cheese doodles. Nova, you might have to, for some reason, on YouTube, you can't send links. You'll have to, if you can DM me on Discord, I'll pull it up. Or you can go to the site and drop the link there. Yeah, Discord it. They just keep talking about the Trump-Nix comment. Who cares? Who actually gives a f? Here, let's watch this.
I need people who are high net worth to support the generous social program.
Okay, 50 programs. Celebrating the Somos community. Celebrating New York's Black, Latino, and AAPI communities. Proclamations. Recent proclamations celebrating New York's AA, NHI, AAPI communities. Honoring police officers, of course, because, you know, liberals. Crime Victims' Rights Week. Encouraging students to complete FAFSA. She just sounds like a typical liberal to me. Didn't she have to be pressed hard? One thing I do know about New York politics, I'm pretty sure she had to be pressed very hard by Zoran to raise taxes. And I don't even know if she did. Did she raise taxes on billionaires? She did, right? Where should I click on? Impact of federal cuts on New Yorkers. She's a liberal, but the bad thing is she's the only leftist-leaning person running to my knowledge. Yeah, she's gonna have to have her ear twisted by Zoran. She's just like your typical liberal. There's not much to see here. But let's look at her competition. Bruce Blakeman for governor. Here's the website. First thing you see is donation. Let's take a look.
These utility bills are sky high. And it's Kathy Hochul's fault.
Bruce Blakeman on utility bills.
Under Hochul, taxes and fees went up.
Immediately he gives me movie bad guy vibes. Movie villain. He looks like he looks like he'd have like a strong Western accent and owns like 10 properties. Like his vibes right off the bat are abysmal.
And your rates were hiked 36 times. Because of Hochul, New Yorkers
of course he's talking about taxes
more than the rest of the country. And if she's reelected...
See, this is the problem. No matter how much you raise taxes, no matter, or how little, I should say, no matter how far to the right or to the center that you try to lean as a liberal, they will always, always, always accuse you of being a communist. Okay, every time they'll accuse you of being a communist. They'll accuse you of licking trans people's feet all the time. Like they will pull out every stop imaginable if you are even to the left of like Ronald Reagan. Okay, every time. So you may as well just lean into the socialism thing like Zoran Mamdani did. Better feet than boots. True. Don't lick my feet, please. I won't.
It won't stop. That ends when I'm governor. I will cut your electric bills in half. Let's face it, we can't afford 4 more years of Kathy Hochul.
Bruce Blakeman.
Republicans are known for keeping their promises, so of course he'll do that.
Executive Bruce Blakeman took his campaign for governor to the steps of City Hall today. And he not only called out Governor Hochul, but also Mayor Mamdani and his tax plan.
Bruce's stance on ICE, I guarantee you he's pro-ICE. What are you talking about?
Reporter Marcia Kramer explains the mayor didn't take kindly to Blakeman's incursion into his domain.
Republican gubernatorial candidate Bruce Blakeman leaving City Hall after firing some pointed broadsides at Governor Hochul and Mayor Mamdani, 2 people he regards as comrade tax hikers.
It's no longer affordable to live in New York, and now, under what they propose, it won't even be affordable to die in New York.
Blakeman insisting he is the real affordability candidate, slamming a proposal made by Mamdani to cut the estate.
Yeah, you know what we should do in the midst of like rising costs everywhere? Elect another Republican.
Tax exemption threshold by roughly 90%, from $7.35 million down to $750,000, and raise the top estate tax rate to 50% from its current 16%.
It will take away the wealth of middle-class workers.
But the mayor, whose job-winning platform was all about taxing the rich, was clearly unhappy that Blakeman took his campaign to his turf. He described him as
someone who looks at what ICE is doing and thinks it's exactly what the city needs to see. In Nassau County, his focus is on how to round up as many people as possible and send them as far away as he can.
If he wins, I'm scared what will happen to my SSI, Medicare, Medicaid. I don't think he'll win. Republicans are very much on the back foot right now.
And slammed back.
We have deported 2,000 illegal migrants with criminal records, from attempted murder to rape, to carjacking, to drug dealing.
Scary migrants.
Where would they like us to put these 2,000 people back into the metropolitan area?
You're running for governor of New York against Kathy Hochul. Why make Zoran Mamdani the poster boy for your campaign?
True.
Well, first of all, because they are in league together.
Because he's Muslim. Because they're in league together, yeah. It's not like Zohran Mamdani had to force Hochul to do anything.
I now affectionately call the governor Comrade Kathy. She's lockstep with Zohran Mamdani.
A Hochul spokesman linked...
This is why you just lean left. Just lean further to the left. You might as well just do it. It's more popular. I'm sorry. We're living in extremist times, okay? The more centrist you are, the more likely you are to lose, whether you're on the right or the left. That is true regardless. So you may as well just, if you're on the left, just lean as far as you can to the left.
Blakeman to President Trump saying, quote, while Bruce Blakeman can't stop touting Trump's illegal tariffs that make everything from groceries to clothing more expensive,
nobody cares about the tariffs anymore.
Costs for New Yorkers at every opportunity.
Nobody cares about the tariffs anymore. Like, that's old news.
So, Marcia, obviously here, Blakeman's opponent is Kathy Hochul. So did you have a chance to ask the mayor what he thought about Blakeman possibly making him the poster boy, so to speak?
Well, actually, I did. And the thing that's interesting is they seem to relish the opportunity to have Blakeman attack him because he says it's going to help him spread his message that you should tax the rich so that they can expand the social safety net in New York. In fact, he said to me, and I quote, I welcome the opportunity.
Okay, we'll see how it all ends. Thank you, Marcia.
It would be really interesting. Oh, thank you for that. It would be really interesting to see what Zohran Mamdani does if Blakeman wins. I will say that. But I don't... What was the polls again? Oh, yeah, I had this video pulled up. We never watched it.
Programs
Let's take a quick look.
Have in our state.
Kathy Hochul humiliatingly begs New York's richest to return after fleeing Mamdani's high taxes.
Now, there are some patriotic millions.
I don't think anybody left. Hold on, let's fact check this real quick. Did rich people leave New York?
The rich are fleeing New York.
No, millionaires aren't leaving New York City. Here's the real story. It's 23 minutes. I can't watch the whole thing.
Does this sound familiar? Well, listen up. New York's millionaires aren't going anywhere. How do I know? Because I'm a multimillionaire who's lived in New York. I'm actually sitting in New York right now. I've paid millions in taxes, but I'm not leaving. And neither are most millionaires like me. Today, I'm going to show you the real math behind leaving New York and the things you haven't heard about why so many millionaires stay. Plus, I'll reveal the one question that exposes the game that the wealthy are actually playing. So let's start with the first shock, what it actually costs to pack up and leave New York City. Reality number one.
Okay, we get the idea. I don't buy this idea that like rich people are leaving New York City. It's just a lie. It's a lie. So now that that's been settled.
Millionaires who stepped up. Okay, cut me the checks. I mean, just if you want to be supportive, but maybe the first step should be go down to Palm Beach and see who you can bring back home. Because our tax base has been eroded.
Why would you do this?
So I philosophically don't have a problem. It is like I have to look at the fact that we are in competition with other states who have less of a tax burden on their corporations and their individuals. And I would say remote work changed everything. There were people who could only work in an office in Manhattan or work in New York State, and they were captives to our state. They were going to stay. We saw that that's not the case. I mean, you know, Wall Street, businesses looking at Texas, they're not going there because they have a nicer governor. I know that for sure.
I hate her. They're not wrong. The title's not wrong. She's literally sitting here on her hands and knees begging like rich people to come back when they didn't even leave. That's crazy. That's insane. Oh my God, we're in competition with other states. No, we are the United States, actually. Okay? That's the message. What are you talking about? I hate liberals. I hate liberals. Anyway, that's what's going on with the race in New York State. Kathy Hochul is not ideal, but will be better than a conservative, so vote for her, I guess, if you're in New York. Hi, thanks so much for watching and making it to the end of the video. I just wanted to let you all know that I love and appreciate everybody in my community, whether you can support me financially or just by liking, commenting, and sharing my videos. It helps way more than you know. That being said, I do want to give a very special thanks to my Tier 4 subs, which would be Space Timid and Hot Take Andy. And thanks so much to my monetary subscribers from any of the tiered subs or anybody who gives me money in any form, including going to my Patreon shop, donating money to me directly. It all helps way more than you know. If you do decide to help me financially, you can get some really cool perks like early access to content, exclusive access to censored videos, also some really cool badges next to your name. Even if you can't afford a monetary subscription, just watching, sharing, and commenting on my content helps way more than you know. Thanks again, and I will see you all in the next video.